event. I'm going to go right into it right now and track actually some of our forecast data that we actually just picked up at a here, and we can start American potential of maybe some flurry action out there. Very slight wintry mix for our Friday startup. Could be anywhere between 8 a.m. It starts to enter in from the south, and then by to the we'll be seeing a bit of a wintry mix today, and then we'll have some flurry. If we see temperatures maybe in the middle 30s, is that going to be enough for it to continue to stick, or are we going to see some melting action occur on that? I think that's why we're keeping that accumulation on the lower side overall within this forecast model. But of course, this one does push all the way in to the big area of low pressure for Monday and Tuesday. And as you can see, the coloration of these lighter blues, they get darker and darker and darker. That's where you have flurry action or light dusting. Then you get into moderate snow shower activity. And this technically comes through as early as late morning now on Monday. This particular model showing all of this through the evening, the day side, and continues with snow showers all the way through into Tuesday morning, finally starting to dissipate at about lunchtime 30 on Tuesday. Now, hold on. This is just one model, right? So let's go ahead and look at another model that we have. Usually tends to be more of a conservative model, but overall, we are seeing this low pressure system come through at this exact time, Monday through Tuesday. The difference is what kind of precipitation we're going to see out of it. So let's go into the European model run. Tends to be a conservative model run for us, and it starts off again, moving forward into our Friday forecast. This one indicating that we're getting into some snow showers, and it could actually come through for the day side for the afternoon. A little bit of a wintry mix, some more flurry action right up into our Saturday forecast. Then moving forward, even Sunday, we could maybe see some rain or perhaps a rain-snow mix of around 20%, and that's what we've been keeping to our Security Bank 7-day forecast for Sunday for the past several days for us, so that's definitely not out of the wheelhouse for us. But as we move forward in time, this particular model says, oh, yeah, that low pressure system is going to be coming in absolutely in our Monday forecast. But it's not coming in as snow shower activity. Now, it's going to come in more as very cold rain, maybe a winter mix of a little bit of snow, but mostly rainfall out there to start off our Monday. And then moving forward in time, we'll finally get to some flurry action. But you can see it's very hesitant to do a broad, widespread threat for that snowfall action. We tend to see more of a wintry mix overall for the metro, and then moving forward into Tuesday, that's when we really get into some of that snow shower activity. So this is actually going to be reflected in our snowfall forecast. Now, if you were with us yesterday, we saw the snow forecast for Monday, Tuesday. And yesterday it was around 9.6 inches to 10 inches of snowfall accumulation between Monday and Tuesday as a whole. That's not the case anymore, and it has a lot to do with what we're seeing in the split of our models. Some of us getting into maybe some warmer air, and that allows for more of a wet weather situation. Some of the models saying, nope, it's going to be plenty cold enough, and that we're going to continue on with snow flurries. But this is what we're looking at now, taking all of that data into consideration, and now we've got new snowfall totals that we're monitoring for. Again, just moving through Friday and Saturday, it could be a ½ inch to an inch of accumulation as we get through that time span. This is going to be a bit of a nuisance. I don't see this being absolutely detrimental to the forecast, but it's definitely something that I think that we should start thinking of KDOT and MoDOT getting out there with the snow plows and maybe doing some light brining just to make sure that we stay safer on those roadways. Now let's move on in towards Monday and Tuesday. And all of a sudden, as we accumulate the snowfall totals, it is much less than yesterday's forecast. Clear through Tuesday evening, we jumped to 4.6 inches. Now, you've got to remember that we've added that almost 0.9 inches possible from Friday in this forecast. So truly, we could be seeing another 3 to 3.5 inches of accumulation between Monday and Tuesday. All right, so that's a big difference that we have seen so far just in the snowfall totals alone. I do believe that we're going to still see some fluctuations in this. However, I think we are now finally on track to get consistency with our snowfall values. All right, so what I'm saying is as we move forward to this afternoon and into the overnight and even into tomorrow morning, I don't believe we're going to be fluctuating aggressively from what we have right here of this 4.6 inches of accumulation. It could be a little less, but we're going to be kind of sort of in this range as we move forward in time. Nonetheless, this could be detrimental to commuting out there, especially when we're talking about Tuesday morning, because that's where we can really see this snowfall stick, stay overnight, and then we're still gathering another inch of accumulation into Tuesday morning. This could be a situation where perhaps schools might postpone or they possibly could cancel. It is going to be something that we monitor closely, but I can assure you that as we move forward in time, and if we keep to around 4 inches of accumulation, we may be doing a weather day, a first warn weather day, at least for Tuesday's forecast because of this inclement situation. It will be something that we'll have to continue to track, but that is the latest data that we have got here at the First Warn 5 Weather Center and, of course, at KCTV5. You know, we have got our ears to the ground on this one. We are in constant communication with the National Weather Service here in town, picking their brains as meteorologists as well on whether they think this is going to be more of a wet situation or more of a solid flurry or snowflake opportunity for us. What we do see on Tuesday overall is that we'll have a better chance for snowfall and wind. Gusts at about 25-30 miles per hour. And if it is flurrying out there with that wind, it is not a good combination to do any kind of commuting, especially in the morning time frame. So that's another thing that we're going to be continuing to monitor closely here. All right, friends, that's all I've got for you right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up this over here, and Janae's going to take over. We've had some serious news that has just come down the line here out of Iowa. There has been a high school shooting, and we just got the latest details on it. Janae's got more on that right now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg, for that weather update. We will be sure to check back in with Greg a little bit later tomorrow, so be sure to keep it tuned in here with the KCTV5 Live Desk. Again, taking a look at our social media page, this is coming in from the social media platform X. You can see that breaking news there. And if you tuned in with the Live Desk a little bit earlier this morning, you saw that we received an update from Iowa authorities. I do want to take a listen in to what they said if you just happened to miss that press conference. So just to give you an overview of what authorities said as we continue to wait for that video to come in, I'm going to turn the camera around so you all can see me. My name is Janae Hancock here at the Live Desk, providing you all with the latest information of what we know so far. Again, taking a look at that file video of what we received earlier this morning here at the Live Desk. As far as what we know so far, the latest developments coming out of Iowa after that high school shooting early this morning. Authorities, like I mentioned, they did hold a press conference and gave very little details, but they did say that calls came in at around 7:37 this morning. At that point, school had not started just yet, but there was still a good amount of students and staff on campus, and police arrived 7 minutes after that first call came in at around 7:37, and they located multiple gunshot victims. They have identified the shooter, but there's no word on their injuries, if any, and no further danger to the public. Again, that is coming in from Iowa authorities earlier this morning, and most kids have been reunited with their families, but police said that they will release another update again later on today, but they do want to make sure that they're in contact with all of the guardians and families of those that may be injured. Again, so far, we do know that multiple victims have been injured, unfortunately, in that Iowa school shooting, that high school school shooting that happened earlier this morning. And it is important to note that this comes the very first day as students and faculty return back to school after winter break. So it's just an unfortunate scene that we see coming out of Iowa, and it's something that we're all too familiar with. We've seen several school shootings, and this is just at the top of 2024. And again, this is how most students return to school today following winter break and entering the second semester, I should say. I do also want to take a look at our social media platform X once again. This is another update that we received. This came in from CNN earlier, but I do want to take a look at this tweet. This is Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. He posted on the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, earlier this morning, saying, "Pray for the community in Prairie, Iowa." This morning, he wrote, and Ramaswamy was hosting a campaign event in Perry, I should say, later on today. And the shooting comes days before the Iowa caucuses, and which is set to kick off the 2024 Republican presidential primary process on January 15th. But again, you can see that tweet here. He was supposed to host an event later on today in the Iowa area. So it's an unfortunate situation for so many in that community, but again, it is an all too familiar situation for so many throughout the country today, especially as we kick off the new year. We are only 4 days in, and we have been getting live updates coming in minute by minute. I do want to take a look at that file video once again as I continue to kind of search around for more updates that are coming in. So this coming in just a few minutes ago from the White House. We do know that President Joe Biden is tracking the latest developments on a shooting that happened in Iowa, that high school shooting. And it looks like the rest of government officials are also tracking the latest out of D.C. this morning. But we do expect to hear more updates from authorities in Iowa again later on today. And we also learned here that the shooter has been identified, but again, they're not releasing further details on the shooter's current condition. But we do expect to hear more a little bit later. And as we hear more here in the KCTV5 newsroom, we will be sure to keep you all updated. So be sure to have the KCTV5 News app to have those notifications come right to your smart device. And our noon newscast is coming up in about an hour, so be sure to tune in to that as well, as we hope to provide you with more details following this unfortunate scene coming out of Iowa this morning, that high school shooting where we know multiple victims have been shot, I should say. There are multiple victims that have been shot, and we're not sure exactly if any have been killed or the extent of their injuries, but we hope to have more details here soon.